What up, guys? Time for my weekly update. So far this week has been pretty chill. Week and a half's been pretty chill. Nothing happened crazy as far as work. Well, I guess work has technically kind of been hectic. Client-wise, took lost a few client slots. Unfortunately, that's part of the being a coach and being a trainer, is people have to stop depending on income, season, summer ending, so on and so forth. Sorry, better. On the upside, I've actually gotten the opportunity to train more rowers lately who are obviously seeking performance goals, which is different than what I normally do, which is aesthetic goals for nerds. So this is kind of like a cool deviation from what I normally get to do, and it's kind of a cool opportunity because I get to work with people who participate in the same sport that I do. For all those who are worried, this is technically not outside of my scope of practice. I'm a certified strength conditioning specialist, meaning I'm a strength conditioning coach, so I'm credentialed to train like a college team, pro team, as far as like strength conditioning principles are concerned. Um, I learned some cool insights from therapy this week. I recently learned about like the nervous system, and you'll see it on the screen. I'll have like a picture somewhere. But essentially, like you talk about like I think it's like ventral and vagal nervous system, and essentially like there's this bell curve graph that deals with like calmness, um, anxious, high energy, fight or flight kind of thing, and then like freeze. So if you've heard me talk about like trauma responses before from my therapy sessions, it's fight, flight, freeze, appease, and like primal scream are like the five things you can do in the face of trauma or stress. The bell curve and you kind of ride and rock through it. So after you get, if you're in fight or flight and you're like aggressive, you might go to freeze. But the problem is once you come out of freeze, you actually have to go back into fight or flight again before you come back to be calm. You can't just skip that phase. There's a cool examples of this. Sorry, I keep burping. It happens out in the wild. You have antelopes that they're running from a cheetah, and like they'll just freeze and fall over, and then it's a response to kind of keep themselves alive because the cheetah's like, oh, if it's not healthy, I don't want to eat it. And after they wake up and the cheetah's far away, they start kicking and bucking and they dash off running because they're going from that freezing back into fight or flight. So freezing is technically a higher response as far as like a stress level response than the fight or flight is. And I get to show you guys this cool VR event I went to, and I think you guys think it's funny, but it's kind of cool.
Oh, not on me, bro. Heads up! Defend yourselves! Watch out! Oh shit! Ouch! So sorry. Recruits, look out! Oh, watch out, guys! Watch out! We're next to each other. We're tight. Oh shit! Out of the way! Stop! Oh, attack his fist! Alright! Oh, they're coming! This whole tower is collapsing! Oh shit! Oh, oh, another one. Me, bro. Oh, somebody saw me. It's on me. Over. Stay on the ground. Mel, I need some better magic, man. Yo, this is some bullshit.
The last thing, the coolest thing, what I want to talk about is the rock concert we did at the end of it, and that'll probably be next.
Show me the guitar.
We'll be fighting side by side. Storm the gates, no place to hide. Slay a dragon, climb a spire. Blades and arrows, ice and fire. Until the day finally ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So it was a pretty cool VR event. I got to invite some homies. Leo Gill was not present in that scene or in those clips. He will be at the end of this, as I'm introducing him as he's my training partner, one of the people I spend a lot of time with. He wasn't able to make it due to a work conflict. But once again, it was a pretty solid time. Um, Guys who were there were Alex Sutherland, my rowing coach, my dude, my guy. Definitely one of my biggest homies. Alex Ye, my childhood best friend, wasn't able to make it, but tis okay. He's currently off working in China, so we miss him, and he'll be back soon. Kurt Isaac Elder, one of my college buddies, done a lot of adventuring together and craziness in college, and he's moved to Austin, so we get to do some stuff like that in Austin. My homie and physical therapist Dennis Kilberg did not get to make it, unfortunately. But hopefully he'll be able to join in next time. And then, of course, we have Sergio, one of my Austin homies who actually started working at the gym together too, but he transferred from gym into tech and coding world. And so, like, very proud of him and the success he's seeing there. But he was able to come join me for this adventure too. The reason why I decided to do a VR event was to celebrate some of my recent accomplishments because I don't do it enough. I kind of just move on from one thing to the next, and my therapist told me that's an issue. So going back to my therapist, thank you, Michael Bass, and yeah, just some of the notable events that I needed to celebrate need to get out of the way. We have, my accomplishments at Master Nationals. We have getting accepted to row at the head of the Charles race coming up. Um, at the Charles race, we have some successful panels at DreamCon, ColossalCon, and then this upcoming weekend in Japan. So lots of things to be grateful for and to celebrate. And at some point, I'll probably segue into a video of me rowing with a quick kind of recap what I'll be working on this week in technique and my rowing stretch, what I've been doing. And then obviously after that, I'll probably discuss and review my experience at ColossalCon.
Alrighty, team. What we're rocking here is a 3 by 8 minute piece. In rowing terms, that's 3 sets of 8 minutes of work. We're specifically doing ramping rate. So I'm starting off at a 22 for 3 minutes. We'll do a 24 for 2 minutes. Then we'll do a 26 for 3 minutes to finish it off. Now, my goal during this is smooth blade work. I think I'm doing a halfway decent job of keeping that blade work nice and smooth. I'm not trying to rush in. If you notice, I have a habit of rushing into the catch. So that's when you have the recovery, which is essentially after the drive. So as my blades go in the water, that initiates the drive my legs. As my hands go forward and I go and prepare for the blade to go in the water, we call that the recovery. Now, the catch needs to be delicate, light, and smooth. And anytime you see my boat dip down, some dip down is acceptable, but a lot of dip down is bad. And we're just trying to manage that for me personally. So that's kind of what we've been focusing on here as far as blade work and as far as the recovery. Also focusing on a strong drive, kind of making the back end of my stroke feel like a whip. What I mean by that is as a blade hits the water, you essentially accelerate through the movement, kind of like an Olympic lift, where every part of the movement is faster than the start, and that's kind of what we're trying to happen here. So drive legs, boom, send. So that's what's going on with my rowing stroke here, guys. Just working on making my technique as stellar as possible, and just once again driving, sending, blade work, recovery, and smoothness.
All right, guys, let's transition into ColossalCon, the anime convention I went to. Not this past weekend, the weekend off, the weekend before that. Yeah, and my experience there. So my business coach, Cody, he's hasn't submitted his video yet as far as talking, but he'll be featured on one of these episodes eventually. He often says this quote whenever I don't speak in absolutes, and both fortunately and unfortunately, he's like usually right. Do or do not. There is no try. Quoting the homie Yoda. Yoda may have also said, "Fuck around, you will find out you must." Or find out you must fuck around, you will. I don't know. I don't know how to say it backwards, but yes. Thank you, Coach Cody, for putting me on the right path and getting my mindset right. So, about a month ago, I got news that I'd be selected for ColossalCon as far as presenting 5 panels submitted for the Nerds Who Lift Weights team. Each panel is about 2 hours long, so essentially I had a part-time job that weekend worth of work through Friday and Sunday. Uh, Obviously, I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to hang out with my fellow nerds, have a good time, so on and so forth. However, my opinion that obviously changed when I got the chance to look at the schedule for the 5 panels that will be presenting that weekend, or 5 panels will be helping, attending, and presenting that weekend. Two of the panels took place on the earliest time slots on both Friday and Sunday, and those are very inconvenient. I'll tell you why. Um, and then on Saturday, we only had one panel presentation, so it was two on Friday, one on Saturday, two on Sunday. The the Saturday panel was a 2 hour panel that took place during 2 hours of the after 2 hours out of 2 out of the 4 hours of the after hour water park party. So like very poor attendance. So essentially 3 out of the 5 panels that were being presented or that I was gonna have an opportunity to present and or work on or do whatever were at the most inconvenient times of the entire con. I didn't feel good. I felt kind of like glossed over. And I was talking to my coach, and essentially I was saying, I don't know if we're even going to be seen. It's going to be a good time. Is it worth my effort? Is this, a worthless endeavor? In a roundabout way, he said, I got two options. I can make the best of the opportunity presented to me at that given time, or I could back out and call it quits. Well, if you know me via these videos and these episodes, or if you know me personally, then you know I don't really back out or ever call it quits. So we dove in. As always, Cody's Sage Level Wisdom turned out to be, fruitful. I went to every single day of ClassicCon, had a blast. I had a semi-group crossover cosplay with some of the homies. I got to introduce one of my photographer homies that we just met recently. His name is Brett Garamella. Definitely check out his stuff. He's got He's launching a course coming out soon about like street photography and portrait photography stuff like that. He's got like a drone course as well. He dude's pretty cool. Dude knows what he's talking about. So if you're into photography, definitely hit up my man Brett Garamella. But I got to introduce him into the cosplayer scene, hopefully get him some connects so he can, instead of shooting weddings, like shoot cosplayers and do cool stuff like that. Made some new friends, like my dude Adrian and Drew. If you don't know who they are, I'll probably put a photo, and I'll probably put photos throughout this episode of like the cool things I did, the people I met while at ColossalCon. So look forward for that. If photos have been flashing throughout this entire thing talking thus far, that's what's happening. I'm showing photos, my favorite photos of what happened this past weekend. But yeah, so this weekend I cosplayed an Akatsuki character Hidan, as well as sorry, I keep burping, guys, as well as a Dragon Ball Z character. Obviously, my dude Broly, one of my favorite characters to cosplay. Boom, but yeah, guys. So at the end of the day, the convention wasn't everything that I initially hoped for, right? But as always, I'm grateful for the opportunity, I'm grateful for support, and I've got clients and homies who actually went to all my panels who've been working with me for over a year, who they definitely know all the information. They're still there to support. So like a really big shout out to the homie Daniel Sugino, Matt Simmons, Matt Weatherly, Rachel Weatherly, Matt Negro. Sounds weird, guys, because he's white, but that's his last name. It's Negro. For all the support this weekend and come to my panels, and hopefully you guys learn something new every time as we update and change and evolve the information from the presentation. But yeah, man, as always, I'm grateful for this weekend, these opportunities, and trying to capitalize. Also, don't freak out that I'm shaving. You probably see it on other episodes that I'm shaving, but this scruff that's growing back, I have to shave again because I'm cosplaying Majin Buu this upcoming weekend in Japan, and hopefully it'll be epic, and yeah, hopefully just be epic, and it'll be more comically accurate, if you will, canonically accurate. Yeah, whatever. Hey guys, signing off for this episode of Questing the Quadfather. I hope to see you later, and we'll phase into a video of me talking with Leo, my training buddy, and him telling you like my story and how he relates to me and all the good stuff we have. Hey guys, see you on the next episode. And Leo, take it away.
Hey everybody, my name's Leo. I'm a rower at Texas Rowing Center, and I've been rowing for about better part of 2 years now with John. I met him here rowing in 2021, and when I first met John, he was fairly new into rowing, and you could tell there was a separation between him and the more experienced rowers. And little by little, he started cutting a little bit of the gap between them, between I guess you could say us and him. Uh, and at first it was surprising, and there's always a curve when it comes to learning a new skill. So I thought, okay, maybe he's just going on that rapid initiation curve, and then he's gonna maybe hit a plateau or something because he's moving way too fast. But as I became privileged enough to call John a rowing partner and then later on a friend, I realized that it's nothing to do with an early curve and everything to do with conviction. I've never met anyone, I don't think anyone that has his goals set and his convictions so strong to where nothing will deter him. At a personal level, knowing John has been nothing but beneficial to me. You can divide my rowing life in before and after John. Just I've become a much better rower, a much better athlete, and a much better person just by being close to him. He is the epitome of the phrase "you are who you're closest to." Um, I many times find myself waking up early, even though I work late nights, just to not fail John because I know that he could do it if he worked late nights. So I don't want to let him down, no matter what workout it is. Even though 75% of the workouts that I do with him suck, they're horrible, but I feel all the much better for him when I'm done with them. Uh, Also, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of John and his craft when it comes to personal training and all the knowledge and effort he puts into learning new things. I still find myself surprised whenever he casually drops some knowledge about transportation utilization systems, uh, what I should do certain days versus others. My lifting, anytime that I have a problem, be it back pain that I'm dealing with right now, or maybe I have a hand issue, um, he's there to fix it. He knows exactly what movements I need to be doing, how many reps I need to be doing in order to just heal. Uh, he's made me healthier. He's made me fitter. He's made me kinder. I'm so glad that also I call him a friend, not just a road partner. He's one of my best friends in Austin, and I am so lucky to know John.